They thought she was just another woman trying to enjoy her drink. They were wrong, dangerously wrong. The sun hung high over the coastal town as the afternoon heat drifted through the open doors of Harborline Bar, where laughter mixed with the clinking of bottles. No one noticed the way the air shifted when she walked in. A calm, steady presence wrapped in worn jeans, a plain white tee, and a tan field jacket that hid a story none of them could ever imagine. But the trouble started fast. 3 off-duty contractors, loud, sunburned, and swollen with false confidence, spotted her taking a seat at the corner table. One nudged the other with a grin that carried trouble. The tallest, already drunk past reason, swaggered over with a half-empty pitcher. He tilted it toward her. "Drink it." The splash came before the words could settle. Cold beer drenched down her jacket, dripping from her collarbones, soaking into the floorboards. The bar went still. Light filtered through the windows, catching the dust in the air as she blinked once, slowly, like someone calibrating restraint. She didn't curse. She didn't flinch. She simply breathed. They have no idea who they're talking to, the bartender thought, his hand frozen over the cash register. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Commander Elise Rourke, and unbeknownst to everyone in that sunny bar, she was the Navy SEAL spearheading the most covert joint task operation in the Pacific. The very task force these men were supposed to be supporting. But today she wasn't a commander. She was just a woman trying to get a quiet lunch before heading back to base. The tall man leaned in closer, his breath sour. "Come on, sweetheart. Don't make that face. We're just having fun." A tremor ran through her fingers as she wiped the beer from her sleeve. Not fear, but the controlled shiver of someone wrestling with a moral decision. The bar murmured, the tension building like heat before a thunderstorm. A couple near the window shifted uncomfortably. Someone whispered, "That's going too far." Elise spoke at last, voice quiet but firm. "You should walk away. Now." They laughed. Her pulse steadied. She thought she'd never see men like this again. The careless, the arrogant, the ones who underestimated her, simply because she existed quietly. She was wrong. The tall one grabbed her wrist, and Elise stood. Her chair slid back softly across the wooden floor. The light from the windows carved a silhouette around her. Shoulders squared, spine straight, eyes like open sky sharpening with purpose. The room leaned forward. "I said walk away," she repeated. The man opened his mouth to retort, but the doors behind them swung open with a gust of warm ocean wind, and 3 uniformed operators stepped inside in perfect formation. They weren't looking around. They weren't scanning for tables. They were looking directly at her. "Commander Rourke," the lead operator said, his voice carrying authority and something else, reverence. "We're ready. Your task force is assembled outside." A ripple ran through the bar. The 3 contractors froze as realization hit them like a wave. They turned toward the sunny doorway, where outside on the bright pavement stood 24 elite operators in full gear, poised in disciplined rows, waiting for her command. Even the trucks parked along the street gleamed with precision, as if the entire afternoon had been holding its breath for her arrival. The tall man let go of her wrist, as if it burned. Elise didn't gloat. She didn't even glare. She simply looked at the men, tired, disappointed, and said quietly, "Respect is free, but the lack of it, that costs more than you're prepared to pay." She walked past them into the sunlight. The operators straightened instantly, boots clicking in unison. Neighbors stepped out of nearby shops, shading their eyes, watching the sudden surge of coordinated strength filling the street. Elise moved among them like a breeze, cutting through heat, calm, focused, respected. One operator approached shakily. "Ma'am, should we detain them?" She looked back toward the bar, where the contractors now stood pale, small, almost humbled. "No," she said. "Let them learn from this instead." And with that she stepped forward, leading her task force down the bright midday road, a quiet storm wrapped in sunlight. Because courage doesn't announce itself. It simply stands up when disrespect tries to get loud. And in the end, the brightest days often reveal the deepest truths. If you enjoyed this story, share your thoughts below, And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful human stories told from the heart.